Hello, my friends. What have we here? All right. Let's do this thing. And let's raise you up a little bit. Hello, 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 comrades. So, today we have a yes, quite. The primer. They kind of fell and dried a little bit on some paper towels, but nothing too bad. Nothing that I can't fix. Got ourselves a tiefling boy and a town's guard. Who should we? I'm going to start with the town's guard. What do I want to start with them? No, I'm going to stick with what you know. What you know? I know both of them. All right. Ooh. Okay, still good. Silver dragon in. I'm going to hit that with a little bit of black. That's going to make that gunmetal we like. If I can find wherever I left black. There it is. So how is everybody? I hope everyone is well. Kind of looks like, I love when I mix these colors together at the beginning. It kind of gets that Damascus steel kind of look. This is exactly what I was looking for. So let's go ahead and, oh goodness, calm down, you slippery little minx. Voila. Do his little chainmail. He's got armor. I'm telling you, if you've got like a reflective silver effect paint, add just a few dribbles of black in there. Ooh, bam, thank you, ma'am. You got the perfect thing for chainmail. Ooh. I botched that. That is a botched job. Luckily, it's literally the first thing I'm painting, and thus, it's fine to fuck up. Scheiße. Accidentally banged up the sword a little bit. I may have forgotten to do something. May have. Not entirely sure. That's not what I wanted you to do. Back at it then, lads. He's got a little bit of a tricky wicket in that his shield hand, while still having the chainmail, is holding a shield? Unless I must come between them. I mean, luckily for me, I will be painting the shield and off silver of this, so it's okay if it gets a little bit of it. I'm just going to add more silver to the paints that I have here. Actually, I probably wouldn't want to do that because I might need to use this again. There. Audio browsers are now muted. Sorry. Without the headphones, I couldn't be 100% sure that no other audio was leaking. I know there's a sound gauge there, but do you know how wrong that shit often is? You can't trust anything these days. But we should be glorious, victorious now. Let me just finish up with this here chainmail. And then we shall move on. So I've come up with a solution. Now I'm going to have to be very quick with this. My plan is 2 parts, and it is thusly. Number 1. Paint it with the color that I have so far. Paint it quickly. Before it dries, add another layer of silver and kind of mix it in. It's going to make it look, well, supposedly, if all goes correct. Let me re-up on my host raffles. Supposedly, if all goes correct, it will make it look, 1, not 100% silver, and thus have faults, which it would. And 2, it'll make it a different silver than the other stuff. And I won't have to compromise the paint I've made for it. Which is really good. Because what if I need to get back to it? Yeah, that's what happens, bud. Why would you do that to yourself? That's never fun. It's still wet. Let's add some more of that silver. Hello, hello. But like I said, why would you be up for 24 hours, dude? That ain't good for you. You shouldn't be doing that. Oh, yeah. This did exactly what I wanted it to do. Mixed in with this other paint. Just it made it a little better. Ah, I see. The old procrastination gets us all. I know I struggle with it very hard. To the point where I almost never even get stuff done. It ain't healthy. I'll say that. Yeah. I'm getting a little bit of that. I think that's just stress, though. Procrastination. They are wizards, and they do cast, sir. You are not mistaken. But you're not supposed to cast that late. There's literally a spell called Delayed Fireball. That's a good setup for that joke. Curse you, minis, that put things in locations that are really hard to get the brush to. You sly devils, you. I'll be honest, no one I know uses it. It is not a good spell. basically, you cast it, I think it's like, was it 6th level? It's something really stupid. I have a spell list right here. Seventh level. It's a level higher than I thought it was. Okay, so basically it's the exact same thing as Fireball, but you can delay it up to a minute. And now the problem with this is whether your concentration is broke because you decide to or you don't, that it goes off. It has 12d6 damage, but the only reason it has 12d6 damage is because Fireball is normally 3d6, and then when you scale it up to 8d6. When you scale it up to 7th level, it would naturally be 12d6. I mean, it slowly increases by 1d6 for every turn you wait, but that means you have to literally sit there for a minute, Super Saiyan charging it. If you have a 7th level spells do way more damage than 12d6. That is ultimately a waste of your abilities. Like, let me look up other 7th level spells. You can conjure a celestial being. Three notes of 4d12 separately. So that's 12d12 altogether over 3 different attacks. And that's in one action, as opposed to 12d6 increasing by 1d6 for every action. And once you pick the spot, you can't move it. It explodes. You can literally summon lightning, firestorm, 10 cubes of 10 by 10. So that's lots of square footage. I'm not doing the math. 7d10 fire damage. So that's better, and that happens instantaneously, not a minute. All in all, yeah. No, you can't, because you can only have one concentration going at a time. So if you only have one, and it's a concentration spell. Whereas a lot of the other things I just listed, I think most of the things I just listed were. But normal Fireball is not concentration. Now, if you want to scale Fireball up, it would do the 12d6 fire damage. But like I said, Firestorm does more damage. Fireball does a shit ton of damage at 3rd level when you get that. When 3rd spell level, like Fireball reigns supreme. Maybe you can scale it up 1 or 2 levels, but since there's not a lot of damage dealing 4th level spells. But if you're up in it to 5, you're kind of wasting the spell slot. I mean, I'm not saying that it is a waste, but there is so many more better options. For instance, if you're a wizard and you've got Fireball, you should have animate objects. Because if we're going purely like what a wizard should have, animate objects is one of them. What wizard have you seen in a movie didn't have that one moment where like everything is spinning in a whirl around them? No. Fireball will always be a 20-foot radius. Be it delayed Fireball or normal Fireball or casting at a higher spell level, does not matter. It will always be a 20-foot radius. You can't do a lot to change things that can. Certain Warlock invocations, certain, I think, Sorcerer Meta Magic can, but not doubling radius. However, there is a really nice spell called Meteor Swarm. That's basically Fireball on crack. However, it is a 9th level spell. Yes. Yes. I know you. Yeah. They can. Well, yeah, but so can anybody who takes the spell Polymorph as well. Or the spell Shape Change. Shape Change does that as well. Or is that only for druids? I think it's either druids or wizards. Because man, do wizards have their finger in all the fucking sweet in-game spells. Sucks. At the first few levels, it's tough to keep them alive, but if you can keep a wizard all the way down to the end, they are dynamite. My cats are going crazy in the other room. Let us in! Let us in! Ooh. Goodness. We just had a bunch of people hop in, so maybe don't run an ad immediately as soon as they hop in, but I gotta do one soon. Best be warned. I'm gonna try to base this off of the Scav backpack from Tarkov, because it reminds me of it loosely. I love when you try to get an image off the internet and you're like, this will be full screen, right? And it's not. Oh, fuck you, Gary. That's fine. That's good enough. That's a good one. One of the guys in my home campaign is actually doing a something very similar to that. No rogue, because if you take rogue, you can do assassin rogue. That's perfect for that. But no, he did a Pied Piper based bard where a lot of his magic was based off of animal stuff. And then assassins, they're pretty broke in their own right. But they're rogues, so you'd have to multi-class. But they have that spell. Not a spell, they have that character ability at the end where it's basically like if you didn't know that they were there and they attack you, you're fucked. You basically die. I mean, that's not hard to do. Bards should probably have a high persuasion as it is. So all you got to do is cast Speak with Animals on yourself. And then persuade the rats to do whatever the fuck you want. Speak with Animals is a 2nd level spell too, so this would be really easy to do and quick to do. So I know I look deeply into things and kind of are overcritical sometimes, but I just realized this guy's dressed like a Crown's Guard. Like he's designed for guard in a city. But he's wearing a pack for travel. Interesting. Yeah, more or less. It's one of the spells I actually made. The basically there's a stat block for swarms of rats. You summon said swarms of rats, and they kind of basically do your bidding. Okay. Some sort of green, some sort of light green. Or dark green. Pete's. So you can say Peter Piper picked something. You're just like, yeah. Alright. I'm gonna mix that, see if it works. You won't see the results until I'm done, because I'm gonna run an ad, like I said I would. I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. Oh, I put way more brown in there than I thought I did. Oh, I put not as much green in there as I thought I did. I don't know which is the case, but I do know brown be taken over, as it usually does. Kind of going for that army green brown that we love so very, very much. There it is. That shit diarrhea green that the army likes to put everything on. Every color. Hell yeah, Mr. Abrams, we love your tanks. Can you paint them green? Hell yeah, we love your flamethrowers. Does it come in green? And then of the strappies we'll do in just the standard brown. Goodness gracious. Good news is it doesn't require much to code, huh? Goodness. So answer me this, sour cream. Are the rats the one performing the assassinations for this assassin? Is that where the assassin element comes from? Because I know you can't just be because he's got a dagger in his loot. Every good bard's got a dagger hidden somewhere on him. Almost got it. Backpack's coming along nicely. It's just got a few bits where it tucks inside a little bit. And then also, there we are. A few blotches that need a little bit more TLC. All right. I think it's time for that Ot U brown. There it is. Now I'll use a different brown for those straps, but that brown I'll use for something. I'll use that for his belt. I need a darker brown. Owl bear. Owl bear will be fine for those strappies. But since I did it first, let's get that Ot U brown. Let's take care of that belt, because I also want to use that owl bear brown to do certain elements of his belt. Like he's got a coin satchel, things of that nature. Forever. It's one of those, like, I gotta keep patting it everywhere to make sure that I'm not still spreading it. It's like, you got a lot on your brush. I hope you understand that. I'm like, I don't want to. I just want that. There we go. Only do this if your paint is non-toxic. If you don't know if it is, assume it is. But it should say it. But like I said, if it didn't, assume it isn't. I will not be held liable. But all in all, this is coming along rather nicely. I'm enjoying my time with it. Okay. Get rid of that. Eating paint? Just straight up chugging it? Because that's messed up. Like, there's having a little lap because, you know, you're trying to get a point on a brush, but just like, yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and have a snack. That's a little fucked. Immediately moved my hand a little too far forward and blotched out. It's fine. We'll paint over that bit. I mean, I've described visual things as delicious before. And and I know that like the color red is one of those things that's just like you want to, it's red and orange are strongly associated with food. That's why they're on most of the fast food billboards. And I think it's because just a lot of our foods are red or orange. You know, fish, like salmon kind of has an orange hue to it. Oranges, strawberries, red wine, shit like that. But I've never looked at a large pool of red and think, I'm fucking drinking that. But perhaps I just haven't had enough illicit substances. Perhaps it's a mark on myself, not them. There we are. Not bad, not bad. You guys doing anything for St. Patty's Day over there? It's the holiday that I completely forget about until it is like the next day. Guy's got like a leather satchel, coin purse kind of thing. Make sure that it's painted in a nice color. You know what I could do is sheath in this color as well. It'd be good. There we go. Get in there. There we go. It's got these weird ridges, and it's just kind of like, nah. No paint, please. We don't do that here. I mean, I don't know about how things are up here, but nobody really gives a shit about the fucking pandemic anymore. I mean, everybody knows our governor is at odds with Biden and Fauci about the whole thing. Maybe not Fauci, but once Texas kind of dropped that hammer, everyone else kind of did too. Well, all the places like us. Especially because all of our money comes in from tourism and we want that sweet, sweet tourism money. Oh, yikes. So you guys haven't had bar service. I know a lot of places around here, they kind of did like, if you're serving food, you can be open kind of thing. So a lot of bars did that kind of, what was that thing during like in New York was like you couldn't drink on Sunday unless you had food. So they had just like one sandwich, one shitty sandwich that no one would eat, but you would order it because it came with a beer. And they just kind of passed it around. That's very much, it was just like, yeah, we sell food here. We have tons of food sales. Tons of places did that around here. And then they just stopped really giving a shit and just let people open. With certain restrictions, but I imagine those are going to slowly slip away. Thinking I gotta do his tunic. I'm doing all these small details, and it's just like, you haven't even done his tunic yet. Oh, and I just realized he's rocking chainmail around his neck. Gotta dry brush that up a little bit. We're missing some stuff. Spread that paint around. Make sure it doesn't get gloppy. Make sure you cover up all the 3D elements to it. Don't just paint on top. Make sure you get its sides too. Get its depth. Make sure all the details show on it, on the Mini. It's not like painting for realsies. Well, I mean, it is for realsies painting, but all you gotta do is just make the details pop. They already exist. Sorry, these straps require a level of attention that will drive me insane. Perfect. Alright, now like I said, we gotta get his tunic taken care of. We're doing all these small details. We haven't even done the main thing that covers him. Ooh, well, I decided color for that. I'm gonna run an ad, and I'll be right back. Do I want to go frost blue? What do you think, chat? What color for his main garb? We got reds, we got blues, we got greens. I don't know what that is. I don't know what those are, so I'm not going to comment on them. I've also got yellows. Orange. Haven't done anything orange. I'll say orange for the tiefling, whether we get to him today or not. Yeah, I think I want to go frost blue. I don't know why. I think I'm going to have to add some shading effect to it. But I think I'll make it work. Yeah, I'll definitely have to add some shading to this to make it spicy. Well, that's A-okay. I got nothing but time. So I think what I'm going to do is we got about halfway through the stream. Maybe not halfway, maybe a little past halfway doing this mini. We might just do this one today. We might not get to the tiefling. But that's all right. There's always next week. And now I got a mini who's already primed and ready to go. Goody for me. Saves time for prep work. But most importantly, I want to make sure, I make the minis up to a good standard that I enjoy. Remember, at the end of the day, it's all about enjoying your mini. And you will be the one to enjoy it, not anybody else, not me. So you set your own standards for success. Don't let me set them. I'm just one of those people. I like it just the way I want it. Because there's these interesting ridges. There's like this nice pocket zone protecting the sheath from the blue paint of the tunic. There we go. Not anymore. Got it. Nice. This color's turning out nice. I certainly vibe with it. Lovely. It's all about taking your time. Give yourself the time you need to succeed. Don't rush it. Sometimes the ways and things don't look as good when you make them as they do on your brain, because you're giving yourself not enough time to achieve that goal. Give yourself the time for the creation to come to fruition. I'm constantly slowing myself down to paints. Nice. Nice. This turned out to be a good color indeed. Now his shirt bit is going to be slightly more problematic, methinks, but we'll get there. I got all the time in the world. I got this bitch for a whole nother hour. God damn it. As I was getting his, the seam between his shirt and his chainmail just right, I was accidentally painting his chainmail on his arm. Phooey. Darn. threats. Luckily, I have a ton of that color saved, so I can fix it. I definitely cut a bunch of lines too close on the chainmail there, but I have the fleeting feeling that I'm going to do that again because there's a lot of chainmail on this guy. So let's just keep going for now. Oh yeah, I'm going to make tons of corrections. Another thing I've noticed while I've started this is that there are kind of like armholes that I thought were part of his tunic that are actually part of the chainmail. I've talked on this before. There are just some things you don't know about the mini until you start painting it. And that's one of those things. Once it starts getting that shape going. Those details are easier to notice. You paint as you go. And sometimes you gotta go around and paint something completely different again because you didn't realize that you painted it wrong the first time. But there's A-okay. That's painting, baby. There. I was just like, I gotta paint onto his belt. It's the only way. Then I gotta come around and paint his belt again. Because there was just no way to get in that angle and do that. I should have done his belt last. Well, maybe not last, but after I had done this. Okay. Let me get another brown. He's got another satchel I want to touch up before I fucks with his belt. Anything that can potentially cause another mistake in that department. Let's just wrap it up now. Hooray for gloves. This guy's actually got very, very little exposed skin. I love how I talked about that I was going to do the chunk on his vest. I mean on his belt. And then I started painting this. There was a few other leather elements that I was waiting until I got to another color of brown. I don't like using the same color of brown throughout for all the leathers. It's hard to believe that his gloves, straps, belt, they would all came from the same leather. Probably not. Yeah, all right. That looks good. It is slowly becoming complete. Slowly. And then, of course, le boots. From what I can tell, they look like they're made for walking. And then I'll just use this brown for all these goodies. Not all of these things are going to get hit with either with the brown shader later. And thus we'll have a completely different look, even though that's the same paint. So it'll make us look like we used even more than we thought we did, but we didn't. Hooray for laziness. Oh, too much. Oops. Go ahead. I'm trying to get like that top crevice of the boot before it hits the chainmail, because it's a little too gray for my liking. Doesn't got that brown that I think it needs. And it's given a little bit of difficulty, but it's ultimately succumbing. Fantastic. So I got his gloves, got his belt. Let me get his face. I'm gonna take it off. Alright, we got ruddy skin, rosy skin, goblin skin, orc skin, zombie flesh. Those on right. Fair skin, nah. Let me go with rosy. It's not fair because he's obviously a guy who's outside all the time. But it ain't ruddy because, well, it doesn't look like, based off the bit of the face, that I can see that it'd be that dark. And with all of that shit, he's not going to get tanned naturally that way. So my assumption is I'm going with ruddy. Just gonna spread out what we got to the edges. This guy's got the eyes of a stone dead killer. So tacky. The paint doesn't want to completely do its job. There it is. That's much nicer. All right. Now, let's... Ooh, it's that time. We'll be right back. Where's my gold and my brass? I'm sorry, my bronze. He's got a little bit of a belt buckle. We're going to get that belt buckle, the bronze treatment. Okay. Almost didn't take my own advice. He's got it on the... Would have let that top bit have been blue. That's not right. There we go. Make sure you cap those up. Now I'm going to put some gold on that cross he's got. Slow and steady wins the race here. Perfect. We go ahead and dry that off to the best of my ability, and then round off the edges. There we are. Perfect. All right, I'm going to take a bit of this gunmetal and add like fasteners, rivets onto the shield on those little bulgy bits, and then transition, because I'm using the exact same color, into the corrections that the chainmail corrections. Boop. 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 Too much. some reason I just don't want to get these rivets right. For whatever reason. I'm either putting too much on them or not nearly enough. There we are. Alright. Let's start painting some chainmail again. God, that was way too fucking much. I really didn't think I was putting that much on there. Be careful. You don't want to put too much on. Do not make more mistakes. There we are. That'll be fine. Flawless recovery. Make sure the right 3D objects are painted the right thing. The inside of your helmet isn't painted the same color as your skin, now is it? Just because you painted the skin there. A lot of like brown came off there. Did I? Must have been the black and that like came out separately than the silver. Wish you guys could have seen that. All right. There it is. I knew I painted his arm blue at one point, despite it needing to be silver. There we go. You're going to find in a lot of the minis, where you have a lot of nooks and crannies and crevices and things of that like, that your repair time, not repair, your fix-up, your whoopsie doodle, when you go back and make your corrections. And the more colors you introduce and the more variance colors, especially when they're touching each other, like what I got, it's going to be more and more noticeable. And you got to be cool with that. Guess I'll do his shirt. He's got some shirt bits that need painting. It's literally just like me going like from spot to spot, like, there's this needs touching up. Whoop, whoop, this needs touching up. Doesn't help my OCD. It's been bad the past couple weeks. Then again, we've all been under some stress, haven't we? But right now, painting a mini, and we're trying to enjoy ourselves and relax and have a good time. Looks like all we got left to do is his belt. In the repair department, I'm going to do one more once over once that's true, just to be sure. No, I'm not doing it with a brush that looks like that. I'm not getting fine detail out of a brush that looks like that. Let me clean this brush off, get a good tip to it, make sure it's not dried out. Needs to not have those frays. I ain't getting the detail I want if it's got those frays. There we are. No, let's try this again. The cat meows. Sorry, I don't know if you heard it. When she meows, it sounds like Diddy Kong just got hurt. Meow. For you Donkey Kong fans out there. Perfect. I think all we got left is shading. And the brown, like the washes. Sheath under his pouch. And the pouch itself. Got it. So those three things. That's the fucking stuff right there. This guy's looking good. Okay, so I'm gonna get those colors away from it. That way if I drop him or if he falls or whatnot, I don't want him falling in another color. He's exactly the way I want him. But I will add washes. Flush wash for his face, obvi, because that's the only thing that's exposed. And then shadow wash for his tunic to give it a darkened, lived-in look. And then brown wash for his boots. Okay, I don't know why. Oh, okay. Now I understand. The wash lifted up a little bit of paint and exposed some of the silver. underneath his cheek when I made a mistake. So we're just going to paint over that. Reapply it over the wash. The wash will mix in with it just like it's supposed to. And it'll look like it's supposed to. All right. Brown wash. We'll do this for his boots. Maybe his, maybe not his sheath. Yeah, just his boots. That'll be fine. Did I run an ad recently? I can't remember. I was supposed to when I got to the washes, but I don't know if I did or not. Let me double check. Oh well, we're almost done. I'm not gonna worry about it right now. It ain't worth it. The fucking few shekels I get. There we are. No, time for the shadow wash. I'm going to put this on the helmet, so that the helmet and the chainmail around the helmet. That has a term, but I cough, something like that. That way they're not the exact same color. We see some sort of difference. And then, of course, on his robes. On his tunic. Because ain't nobody in fantasy times that ain't a magic user or incredibly wealthy has something that clean. All right, and away we go. This is coming out just nicely. Just like I had hoped it would. Also going to get the shadow wash on the belt. It really helps add in some character to this audio brown. Makes it seem more like treated leather. Boink. Yoink. Way too much. Now it's time to fucking spread it. Nice. We're getting places, kids. Fantastic. One little bit needs to be re-up with the turquoise. But now that that's done, so is this boy. It's tough. It doesn't want to zoom in. It never does. But have no fear. I will blast this out over all my social medias. It will be on the Discord, the Facebooks, the Twitch. Not the Twitch. Twitter. That's the word I was looking for. And just as a fair reminder, make sure you never drink the paint that the water where you put your paintbrushes or your paint, no matter what your professors say. Don't just drink paint. Don't consume it unless you have to. Don't consume it. Easier. Let's see, who do I got? Do I have anybody I can raid? Smokey. I can stream into there. Where want it? There we are. All right. It's been a pleasure having all of you. It's a bummer we didn't get to the tiefling today, but that only means that we will be getting to him next week. Oh well. But until then, appreciate y'all. Hope to see you later. I'll probably be streaming some Tarkov tonight because, you know, I won't be able to get into it for the next few days. But I'll catch you all later. Go make some memories. See you soon. Goodbye.